Unfortunately, we're probably a very long way off from a cure. But what we would look towards is prevention and knowing your risk and being able to take action and do something about that. But research takes time. The issue with ovarian cancer is that it's not as treatable as some of the other cancers, and it's very deadly. It's actually the deadliest of the gynecologic cancers. The cutting-edge research right now is looking at better treatments. I think it's focusing on that. They're certainly looking for methods of early detection. They're trying to focus on that, but they're also looking at better treatments because they want to help women now. And to do that, the treatments really need to improve. A lot of times when a woman has ovarian cancer, she has a chemotherapy treatment, there's a high rate of recurrence, and so the next time she takes a treatment of the same chemotherapy, often it doesn't work as well. So a lot of the focus has been on trying to develop another treatment, another line of treatment. They're looking at immunotherapy, obviously using a woman's own immune system and what they can do to stimulate that to fight the cancer. So that's another big area. Genetics has become very, very important because despite having identified the BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes, that's only a small percentage of women that do develop ovarian. So that's why just kind of being attentive to your body and also knowing whether you have a history in your family. We've spoken to so many people that don't know. They'll often say, well, my grandmother died of cancer, but I'm not really sure what kind of cancer that is. And that's really important for women to really understand their family history. A really significant recent finding that took place up in one of the Harvard hospitals actually was that we do believe that forms of ovarian cancer may be originating in the fallopian tube. And if that's the case, that would explain why it's so hard to detect, because it's actually starting somewhere else and then migrating to the ovaries. So by the point it reaches the ovaries and then symptoms might actually be sensed, that's because it's actually starting somewhere else. And if that's the case, and there were a way that we could target the fallopian tube, that would be really significant. So that's a recent finding that I think is going to have long-term implications. For the immediate short-term, treatment would be, I think, the main focus, but the long-term goal would be prevention. And in prevention, I would include genetics. So obviously knowing if there is a genetic component beyond the BRCA1 and BRCA2, there probably likely is in many cases, but we just don't know it yet. And if women could be genetically screened, then know their risk, and then take preventive measures, that would be something that we would be aiming for in the near term. We very much hope that there will be a cure. We very, very much hope that, especially now when it's so uncertain. You know, if there is one kind of ovarian cancer, there are several kinds, and where it originates, and all of these questions are so unknown. I believe someday, yes, there will be, but I think they have to know all these other answers, and it's a long way off. So that's why we can't stop. Research is so incremental and so important to build upon itself.